Villarreal, a club esteemed in a rich history with plenty of footballing stars from the past, present and future, including that man Giuseppe Rossi, known as a legend by many in the last couple of years, Diego Forlan, a name that needs no further introduction, and also the most recent of the legends, Santi Cazorla. It really has provided plenty of incredible names over the last couple of years, and now there's some new names to go onto that list, including the likes of Paco Alcacer and one of their new recent top scorers, Gerard Moreno. Well, things are going a little bit bad right now at Villarreal, and somebody's going to have to take charge and get in there and really help this club to get back to their very best. Is it going to be me? We'll have to find out. Hello and welcome along to another episode of the Villarreal FM21 beta save. And well, things, if you haven't watched the previous episode before I actually talk about it, then I would highly recommend going onto the channel and watching episode 3, because it's a bit of a dramatic one. But for those of you that have seen it, of course I will make a few spoilers now. It wasn't the greatest episode in the world. Of course, as you'll know, throughout the progression of the series, we've already lost Gerard Moreno. We had to bring in a few new players, and well, we started off the day with a 0-0 draw against Atletico Madrid. Fantastic result, considering the situation. We were battered in that match. But then afterwards, we really fell off. A 1-0 loss to Huesca and a 2-0 loss to Elche already makes me feel like this is going to be a very, very long season indeed. We are now at transfer deadline day. As you can see, I believe it's the 8th of October. It's the 5th. My eyes are deceiving me. It's the 5th of October. It's transfer deadline day. We might have one or two more deals to do before the end of the day. So I'll keep you updated. But if not, we'll be going into that first game of the day, which will be against Real Betis. So as for now, let's get into the episode. Okay, so we're starting off the episode with a little bit of transfer business. And as you can see on the screen, I did say at the end of the previous episode, I did want to try and bring in a CDM. Of course, in this first season, it is imperative that you have a great deal of depth throughout your squad. And it looks like we have a new man. Well, originally, I was looking at Escalante from Lazio. Of course, looks like a fairly decent player. Not the most amazing stats in the world, but a really good, solid CDM who'll just sit there and do the dirty work in the midfield. But we've actually got somebody who's joining us permanently. Roman Zobnin, technically plays more as a midfielder than a CDM. I'm going to train him up to become a bit more of a CDM. But you can see stats-wise, he is pretty much a CDM, at heart. 7th edition, he isn't going to be going up and doing box-to-box work, is he? And I mean, you can see he could play as a half-back and a deep line playmaker if you wanted to, but his stats across the board, his mentals look fantastic. He's got 19 teamwork, 16 work rate, 16 stamina, decent tackling, and he's only going to cost us 3.2 million overall, 2.5 million up front now. So that is our first and probably final deal of transfer deadline day done. And then we've had two other deals come in as well. Now, because of course in that previous episode we signed Nelson Semedo, he's with us for the next 2 years. Now, there's two deals that have come up on the table. One of them was to send Ruben Peña on loan to Porto. Now, if you've played the game, you'll know right now that with loan deals, clubs don't tend to want to pay the full 100% like they have on previous years. They only want to tend to pay around maybe 70 to 80% tops. So we've got a potential deal here for Ruben Peña to go on loan, with us paying 50% of his wages. The other one as well, there is an optional feature fee of 7 million for him. The other one as well, Wolves are now looking for a right back after selling off, after loaning off Nelson Semedo. So we could either send out Ruben Peña on loan, and of course, hopefully, they trigger that 7 million clause. Or we could try and push the boat here and get Mario Gaspar to leave. Now, he's not interested in talking to Wolves, so it could be a case of a deal being accepted and him not really caring. But what I'm going to do very quickly here is Sofian Chakla, who is the Moroccan centre-back. I am going to send him out on loan. He does really want to leave the club, so I'm going to try and see if Mallorca want him. And then there's a few players I've been scouting. So let's try and see here if we can get a feasible deal for Mario Gaspar. So they've offered 9.5 mil. He's got a 27.5 million release clause. I'm going to start with 18 million pounds. They're going to want 10.5. So what we'll do here is we'll drop it down to 17. They want 11.5. You can see what's going on here. It's just slowly decreasing as it goes along. 12.5. 15 million. 13.5. 14,750. They've rejected it. So for now, well, actually, they've said they're not going to give an immediate answer. So negotiated offer will need to be agreed here. So I'm going to say 14.5 tops. Remember, we can, of course, end it there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to delay this one for now. But it looks like we're going to send Ruben Peña out on loan to Porto. Gaspar will stay with us, and Wolves won't get their right back. So, of course, I'll keep you updated as you go along with the rest of the transfer deadline day. Well, it didn't take me long to come back once again. As you can see on the screen, of course, we've got that signing now of Roman Zobnin officially confirmed. You can see his actual stats. He looks really good. 3-star current ability, only 3-star potential. He's not going to necessarily improve, but for this season specifically, he will be a very good depth player indeed. So, of course, I'll do registration of things a little bit later on. Sporting Gijon, they don't want to match the offer that was put in earlier for Chakla from Mallorca. And then Mario Gaspar offer came back. We said 14.5 million to them. They've gone all the way back down to their 10.5. So I'm basically going to go here, right, 14.5. They think it's now acceptable, which is quite interesting indeed, because Mario Gaspar, he's 29 years old. But the only problem I've got is that Ruben Peña is years old too. I'd rather send Ruben Peña on loan and keep Gaspar for now, because he is a very influential player in the squad. So what I'm going to do in this situation is, as much as I'd like to take the 14 million now, we're going to keep Mario Gaspar as the player at the club. If we'd have got a little bit more for him, then maybe I would have been very tempted to take the money and run. And then what we are going to do is we're going to confirm that Ruben Peña goes out on loan to Porto. So he moves to Portugal for the season. He has that 7 million optional fee to potentially pay for him at the end of the season. And we keep Mario Gaspar for now. Let's keep moving on. We could be going straight on to that game against Real Betis, but if there's any more deals to come, I'll keep you updated. For those of you that don't like the transfer window, the fantastic news for you is that the transfer window is now closed. There is going to be no more deals at the club. There was one more deal that I kind of sorted out in the end, and that was, of course, the Moroccan centre-back, Sofiane Chakla, leaving the club, going to Mallorca. Already going to leave after one game, 92 grand, basically, we get for him. Basically, he's fairly irrelevant, was never going to play for us, basically had a paddy whack saying he wanted to leave the club, so I've let him go in the end. But the transfer window is now done and dusted, and as you can see in terms of the squad registration right now, we are full to the brim. We've pretty much got 25 players covering the entire squad. Haven't got the full 3 non-EU players, but of course there was one player that's missing right now because of his serious injury. Gerard Moreno isn't going to be registered in the squad because he's out for such a long period of time. Hopefully it's more 3 months than 7 months, and maybe we could have him back in January, but I think it'll be the full 7 months because of a broken leg. But the squad is completely full, there's no players missing, so we can confirm selection and get on with our next game, which is in 12 days' time as we face Real Betis. So here we go then, first game of the day. We're going to do 2 games today, purely because, of course, we had such an energetic start to this season with the transfer window closing, well, in this episode specifically, but we're here now. And this is a big game indeed, because we're playing off against Real Betis, which, as you know already in the league, they're in the top 4. They've had a fantastic start. They've only lost 1 game this season against Real Madrid, which I think any team in the league would probably expect at this stage. Currently managed by Manuel Pellegrini, and this is the lineup that we're going out in today's game. And I mean, you can see it's not necessarily an injury issue we've got right now, but a fitness problem. If we've had a few players injured, for example, Pau Torres is currently out injured. He's not going to be able to play in this game, unfortunately. But for now, he's going to have to sit on the bench because we're missing out on players. In fact, what I'll do here, because we've got Juan Foyth, I'll put Malera on the bench there and I'll flip them around. So we've got a few injury issues. Asensio still not fully fit to play, which means Rulli stays in goal. Alberto Moreno's not fully fit yet, so Espinal stays in on the left back side. Pato's still fully not fit yet, which means Idrissi comes in for his first game today, so good opportunity for him to make a name for himself. Loren drops to the bench. Paco Alcacer's got one more chance to prove himself, or else he's going to be dropped for a few games, so we'll bring Loren and Baca in. But as for now, the pressure really is on us to go out there and get a result, because as of right now, we've been shocking indeed, and Zobnin as well is on the bench today, so we could see him come on for his debut. But the pressure's on now. This is a real big opportunity for us to get a good result against one of the toughest sides in the league so far. And you can see they've got some big name players, the likes of Nabil Fekir, Sergio Canales being the 2 big boys of the club. And then you look around them, they've got likes of Guardado, former PSV man, William Carvalho, an international. They've got some very good players on the pitch. And well, it's something that I was kind of thinking about before this episode started is that realistically we have to get a good run of action going. And Idrissi's here, coming forward, lays the ball off to Parejo, who tries to flick a ball into the box, and they can come on the counter. And well, this could be the first chance of the game. And well, we're 2 minutes in, and we're 1-0 down already. And well, this save is exactly what I was going to say a moment ago. It already feels like we're under severe amount of pressure, and we're only a few games into this save. Nothing seems to really be working so far, and I've got one more trick up my sleeve, and if that doesn't work, well, this could be the quickest Football Manager beta save you've ever seen. We could be sacked before Christmas. But here comes Chukwueze, coming forward on that left on the right side. He's gone down in the box, and the referee is going to consult VAR here. Is he going to give a penalty? He is indeed. We have a penalty in this game, and to take the penalty is going to be Danny Parejo. Parejo or Alcacer. Do we want Alcacer's confidence to go up, or do we want Parejo, the captain? Because he's been short of confidence. Let's play it safe. Parejo's going to go on the penalty. He steps up to the spot. Big chance here for Parejo. And he's put it into that bottom left-hand corner. Come on, that's a big goal. We're only 10 minutes into this game and it's 1-1. And well, the worries there was after conceding that early goal from Nabil Fekir that we would go down a very bad route in this game and start conceding left, right and centre. But I'm going to demand more out of the players. It is a big game. We've got to come out with something in this match, because you can see, of course, right now with the league table. Well, I was going to show it you actually, but we're coming forward here once again. Iborra on the ball, lays it off to Real Albion. Lovely push forward, and Alcacer, good save from Claudio Bravo, just to keep him out from his first La Liga goal this season, I believe, or second it could be. But he's been fairly poor so far. And coming back to what I was saying, if you look at the league table right now, we're currently sat in 14th. A win today would catapult us back up into the top 10 at the very minimum, which is exactly what we would like to see. But of course, we'll have to find out what goes on in this match as we reach the half-an-hour mark. And so far, a fairly decent game between these two sides. A much improved performance, but I'm not going to say anything yet because we're coming forward here. Chukwueze on the left wing tries to flick a ball into the box. He does in the end, and well, it's a bit of an awkward ball, that Claudio Bravo. He's going to be able to save in the end. Could have trickled into the back of the net, but he's going to come forward again here. Lovely ball to Alcacer, and it's a lovely goal, and it is his second goal of the season, and Paco Alcacer puts us in front against Real Betis, so I was going to say Real Hispalis, which is their name on the game. But that is a big goal, and that is a confidence booster for Paco Alcacer, who bloody needs one right now. Although we could concede fairly instantly here. Emerson on the right flicks a ball to Fekir, and well, apparently we've just switched off almost instantly. We've conceded within what, probably a minute of that original goal going in. Yep, 1 minute, and it's 2-2 before half time. Don't know what's gone on there, to be honest. Really poor. Although we've got a free kick here before half time. It's lobbed into the box. Albiol gets there in the end, but Bravo is able to stop one more attack before half time, and it's 2-2. In this very eventful game so far, you can see both teams having an expected goals of plus above 1, which is certainly not too bad. I mean, it's not a bad performance, but I'd like to go out there and get a win. So let's go into the second half. I mean, you can see right now Idrissi on a 6.6 is probably one of the first players that I'm thinking of bringing off, but we'll keep some of these players on the pitch right now because they're playing a much better game than they did against the likes of Elche and Huesca. But it won't be too long before we start making some substitutions in this match. And trying to influence this game a little bit more. But we've got a chance here on the right side. Coquelin on the ball. Lays off to Parejo. Tries to go for the long-range effort. But he's deflected in the end. And well, that's a shocking ball from Coquelin. Don't know what he thought was going to happen there. But we've got the ball back either way. Currently on the left with Estupinan, who's of course coming in today for Alberto Moreno. Being linked with a move on to West Ham on this save. Which might be something that we look into in the future. But Chukwueze on the right. Tries to flick a ball into the box. It's good work there from the Real Betis back line, but Chukwueze puts it into the back of the net in the end, and 25 minutes on the clock. It's 3-2. Without further ado, let's make some changes while we've got a chance. Idrissi's debut is going to come to an end here, and coming onto the pitch is going to be Moy Gomez, of course. Alexandre Pato right now still not fully fit in this game. And then we're going to make a change at the back as well. I think we're going to bring off Real Albiol and bring on the Argentinian compatriot of Funes. Actually, no, we're not. We're gonna stay with what we've got. Let's not get too greedy. So Idrissi, as I say, comes off for Moy Gomez, which is what I want to do here. No, I don't want to bring Pato on. What the fuck is he doing? Go back. Thank you. There we go. So we'll make that one change for now. Of course, we don't want to get Idrissi too tired in this game, but what a start. Well, what a game this has been. Not what a start. We've got 15 minutes left here. I'm going to say to the boys, let's get a bit more disciplined in this match. Let's not try and get too overconfident in this situation. So let's make another change. Ibora's going to come off here. Zobnin's going to come on for his debut. So there's our second change of the match. As we go into the final 10 minutes, can we hold on for a humongous victory already at this stage of the season? It has been a very, very nervy start indeed, but we're going to bring João Costa on as well, because, of course, Alberto Moreno's still a little bit tired, so we don't want to necessarily bring him on and get any injuries. And then Coquelin will come off as well. We'll bring Malero on. Oh, sorry, we can't actually, because we've used our free substitutes. My apologies. There we go. So, 4 minutes left on the clock here. Going to just calm these players down a little bit, go from being positive to a cautious approach. And now we'll waste time as we look to push for our first victory of the season. Although there might be one more chance in this game for Real Betis to steal a point, cleared away by Semino, but is it going to be enough? Alex Moreno on that left wing, he's coming forward. It feels like he's going to give him a goal, but it could be our goal because Alcacer is pushing, and there's the ball to Zobnin. There's not many players forward, but the Russian's going to lay the ball to Chukwueze, and that is surely a big 3 points on the board for Villarreal. It's 4-2, and the Nigerian gets his third goal of the season, the second goal in the game, and that is massive. Such a crucial result this is going to be. It puts us into 9th place, and the referee, he blows his whistle for what, as I said, is already such a massive victory at this stage of the season. We talked about how in episode 3 it looked like things were going to be very worrying, but this could be the confidence booster that we needed. And at full time, 2 goals from Chukwueze, a goal from Paco Alcacer, and that penalty early on for Parejo means that we get a big victory, 4-2 against Real Betis. We're back up into the top 10. After that incredible win against Real Betis, we were on to our final game of the day, and this is very exciting indeed because we're now in the Europa League, and it's our first group stage game against SK Rapid Vienna, and you can see there are a plethora of changes across the pitch. Now, you could say a positive / negative is that we are missing a few players because of injuries, but a lot of those players that were unfit for the previous game are now back, so we're going to have a lot of those players coming into the team today for that first opportunity in a Villarreal shirt. Now, you can see, unfortunately, because we signed Zobnin at the end of the transfer window, he's unavailable, of course, to be registered for the Europa League. So that's a real shame. Hopefully, if we get to the knockout stages, we'll be able to register him for those latter stages of the competition. But there's a plethora of changes across the board here. We're resting the majority of the first team. Rulli keeps himself in goal. Of course, Asenjo technically would be my first choice keeper, so I'm going to put Rulli in there. Back four of Moreno, Funes Mori, Foyth, and Mario Gaspar. The midfield's completely changed. Manu Trigueros comes in for his first full game this season. Malero as well, and Moy Gomez. Chukwueze keeps his place, of course, after those 2 goals against Real Betis, and then Loren and Pato, who's available for this match. So without further ado, let's get into this game. It should be a good one indeed, the Europa League against Rapid Vienna. For those of you that don't know who's in the group, we'll have a quick look in a second. But you can see here, Rapid Vienna, when you actually look at their side, haven't really got any recognisable players that people will know, but it will be a very, very tough game indeed away from home, and I expect them to put up a fairly decent challenge. So very quickly, you can see in our group we have Sparta Prague, Rapid Vienna, and then we have the Icelandic team managed by Adiga Johnson that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. But let's go into the game without further ado. Big match here between these two sides, Rapid Vienna and Villarreal. You would expect us to go out there today and get a good result on the board. 7 minutes on the clock. Of course, we haven't scored yet, but there's plenty of time in this match, and I think this is a big opportunity for some of these players on the pitch to really prove themselves and try and squeeze their way into the first team. But it could be a chance here already for Austria Vienna in the game. Wechberger into Smee, now to Berisha. Some good football from the away side, although they're giving it away, and now it could be a chance for an attack from Villarreal. Moy Gomez lays the ball to Chukwueze, the man in form, who takes his shot on. Good save from the goalkeeper, and it was a very good opportunity indeed to open the scoring in this match. And oh dear, it looks like Chukwueze suffered a twisted knee. Now, I'm not even going to take a gamble here and play him on. I'd rather him just come off and not get injured. So fortunately, we're already forced into an early change. Idrissi coming on after 22 minutes, and that's very, very annoying because, well, Chukwueze was the man in form in that previous game, and I would have liked to have seen him a little bit more in this match, kind of run the show. But Idrissi comes on, so this is the two new wingers in Idrissi and Alexandre Pato, who start in this game, and so far, not really much going on in this game. You can see that the Austrians are playing a 5 at the back formation, which is something I've tended to see from a lot of clubs in Football Manager. But they're going to spread the ball to Loren, who's on the left wing. Now into Madrigaros. Some lovely 1-2 football here from the midfield. Malero. Now to Gomez, who's giving the ball away, and it could be a good chance here for a rare Rapid Vienna attack. Herman on the wing. Lays the ball into the striker, Unlu, who just couldn't get an opportunity on target. Although it is looking like here at half-time, we're going to be going in at 0-0, and that's quite frustrating indeed. I thought by now we maybe would have had at least an opportunity on goal, and you can see, well, Austria Vienna's XG is a little bit better than ours. So I'm going to say to players, let's go out there and grab a goal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to a 4-2-3-1 at this stage of the match. So Moy Gomez will go into that position as the cam. The two players will stay there, and then we'll put ourselves on positive for now. So a slight tweak of the system as we push to try and get the goal in this game, and hopefully we can have a few more shots on target and a few goals would be nice. But of course, he's a very changed team, and if I have to, I'll bring on some of the big boys, which would be very frustrating indeed, but it has to be done. So first chance here, free kick for Funes Mori. Apparently Funes Mori is taking free kicks now, each to their own, I guess. It just proves how we're not really taking this competition seriously. Could be a chance though for Rapid Vienna with half an hour to go. Schmid just at the halfway line. They've played us very well so far. As I said, it wasn't going to be an easy game this. They might not have recognisable players, but they've certainly got a good squad unit, a good squad harmony, as Ritzmaier takes on the long-range effort. And unfortunately, it doesn't come to anything in the end. And well, you can see across the board right now, a lot of these players not really playing well. Pat on a 6.4, Loren on a 6.5. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the first change of the game. I'm going to bring Paco Alcacer on as the poacher. And then another change I think I'm going to make here at this stage is we're going to bring on... Let's keep the back line all right. You know, they're doing fairly good right now. I think it's more the fact that the wing's not really doing much right now. And, well, Alexandre Pato on a 6.4. I'm going to bring on Kubo on the left wing. Of course, we're practicing him and training him up to become a left winger in the future. So hopefully a few more extra games will help with his preparation to become a left winger over time. But 20 minutes left here. We're running out of time. I'm going to make another change as well, I think. Who do we take off here? Both midfielders doing very well indeed, but I'm going to take Malero off. Let's bring Danny Pereira on to have another bit of a creative player. And then we'll make one more substitution, I think. Do we make another sub now? I mean, we've got Coquelin and Pau Torres. There's a lot of defenders. We'll bring Mario Gaspar off. We'll bring Nelson Semedo on, and we'll tell him to go and attack. So there we go. All changes have been made now. 15 minutes left on the clock. We're going back attacking. We could have a chance, though, here. The ball's been given away, but Danny Pereira's going to get the ball back into Manu Trigueros, who's had a very good game so far. Impressed me in this match with a 7. Semedo, the substitute, plays the ball into the box, and it's Moy Gomez, and it's the substitute, Nelson Semedo, who gets us that important assist, and Moy Gomez with the important goal that puts us in the lead in this tight fixture against Rapid Vienna. And the substitute, who's been on for probably about 2 minutes tops, gets us the assist, and that is massive, absolutely massive already to take a foothold of this group with 10 minutes left on the clock. Let's praise the boys. They've done very well indeed, although it could have been a better performance. If we could come out here with a victory, I don't really care if Rapid Vienna have played better than us, although our XG is a little bit higher than theirs. But 2 minutes left on the clock, 5 minutes of additional time. Just going to tell the boys to become a little bit more disciplined now. We'll go balanced as well, so we're not pushing extra numbers forward. And what a good match indeed. I mean, you can see Rapid Vienna go to 4-4-2 now. They're trying to push to see if they can get an equalising goal in this match. But unfortunately, they're not going to have enough time indeed, because the referee has blown his whistle. And while not the most convincing performance in the world, I mean, you can see it's a very good game from Rapid Vienna, and they might think, well, we should have come out with something in this match. But they don't in the end. We pick up a vital 1-0 victory at the early stage of our Europa League campaign. And well, you can see We go straight to the top of the group after the Icelandic side got a really good draw against Sparta Prague, you have to say indeed. But we have lost Maria Gaspar for 2 days, which is a real shame. But that is a good result. Full time in that game. Rapid Vienna 0, Villarreal 1 in the Europa League. And that brings the end of the episode. And well, what a complete contrast to episode 3. I mean, episode 3, we were sat there talking about maybe being in a potential battle towards the back end of the season with relegation of mid-table, but it's completely changed things up slightly in this match. Of course, there's 2 games there, big 4-2 win against Real Betis. That could be the pivotal result that changes things. And then, of course, that 1-0 win against Rapid Vienna means it's a positive end to this episode, which is certainly what we wanted to see. In next time's episode, we'll probably play, I think we'll probably play 3 games now the transfer window is done. So we'll have our game against Valladolid, who are currently 15th in the league. We'll be going, we'll be having our first Europa League game at home against the Icelandic side, managed by Eidiger Johnson. And then our biggest test in that kind of 3-game period is against Valencia, who are currently sat mid-table in the league. Just like ourselves, currently sat in 9th place, 2 points away from 3rd. But as for now, if you have enjoyed the series, as always, do leave a like and a subscription. Tell me in the comments below who you think I should sign in this save. And of course, any tactics and things that you think I should work on, then definitely put them in the chat. But as for now, I hope you have a fantastic morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are. And we hope to see you again soon on the Sports Corner. But as for now, good night.